Do you get it? Everybody laugh.
Great.
Everybody laugh. Everybody, please laugh. Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the Monster Movie episode of First Prize Films, the slimiest podcast, where we each select a genre-specific movie separated by at least a decade and pit them against each other to find out which film wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, what does that mean for us?
Yeah, so it's like having a great idea when you're high. It'll be gone tomorrow.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So today we are running for our lives with these monster movies.
Oh, we are.
I made Blake watch The Host, a movie that can only be described as the river monster guy's fever dream.
Oh, no. But meanwhile, I made Dave watch 1990's Tremors, a film that made me okay with global warming. So, Dave.
Yes, sir.
This is our second monster movie episode. A little different monster movie episodes, but we're getting into some fun stuff here. We're watching a couple of good films. We're watching a Korean film, which I think we have to do at least one per season, apparently. This wasn't planned. But this is a Bong Joon-ho film. Why'd you choose The Host?
Well, I chose The Host because you told me to.
I inspired you by telling you exactly what to pick.
That's what I meant. No, because, Bong Joon-ho is a very good director, and, The Host is apparently one of his first film that people have heard of his, I guess.
Oh, like what got him noticed?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah.
So this ought to be good.
I enjoyed both of these movies. I'm not going to lie. I really like both of these movies, Dave.
I would say I would agree for different reasons.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I would agree, but I don't agree, and fuck you.
I would say I definitely enjoyed these movies. Obviously, one for one reason and one for being a good movie. I'm not going to say which is which, though.
Oh, okay, leaving us in suspense here. I guess that's what our episode's about, so.
Yes, you'll find out in the Thunderdome. I'm not going to bury the lead here.
Appreciate it.
So you got to tell me why you picked Tremors.
I love Tremors. Again, this is like the common theme. I watched this movie when I was a kid growing up. I loved it. It came out the same year I was born, but it used to be on TV all the time. It's so much fun. It was such a blast, and I haven't seen it in God knows how long. The standard story that I tell at the beginning of every episode, I think. And I liked this movie. I thought the monsters were cool. I thought our two main characters were funny, and the people in it were crazy. Lots of fun characters in this thing, and I couldn't wait to rewatch this movie. It's been quite a long time.
Yeah, I am glad that you made me watch it because I had almost heard of it, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Like, when you said it, it sounded really familiar, and I was like, okay, I think I know what that is.
Yeah.
I learned very quickly that it's not the one with Shia LaBeouf in it. That's Holes.
That's the movie Holes from like 2004 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was the same thing for a second. Not a long second, just like a second in general.
Holes, Tremors, there's dirt, there's digging or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I could see the aesthetic confusion there.
Which is funny because I absolutely read Holes as a kid and know for a fact it has nothing to do with monsters.
It does have something to do with monsters, but the people are the monsters.
Put your soapbox back, Blake.
Okay, tune in to my podcast that I do on my own, where we dissect in great detail the book Holes, and also its movie counterpart. These are not two similar movies at all. They are very different tonally and in execution and stuff like that, but I do think they were fun to watch together. They're kind of polar opposites almost in terms of how this genre goes.
I agree 100%. I think one was trying to be goofy in the like kind of way, and the other one was like just goofy because they're like kind of way. I don't know. That's no other way for me to explain it other than just making noises.
And I still don't know which movie you're talking about when you're doing the different things, which is very confusing. And I want to be let in on your process, Dave. Let me in.
No. So let's just get into the movies then, because I don't want to. I do want to let you in on the secret, but slowly and painfully.
Oh, my favorite kind. Let's talk about The Host.
Let's do it.
Movie 1, The Host, 2006.
All right, Dave, I need the synopsis of 2006's The Host.
After some random medical asshole pours chemicals down the drain, a horrible-looking fish monster somehow emerges to rain terror on the citizens of a South Korean town. But not to worry, a drunk narcoleptic man is going to save everyone, apparently.
He will, I believe.
Mr. Kim.
So after we get some musicless credits, which threw off my entire process, but whatever, we open to February 2nd, 2000, with an American doctor.
Yep.
Or morgue attendant? It's not really clear.
It looks like a morgue. At least it looks like the morgues I've been into. No comment. Let's keep moving.
Yep, we're going to have to blow past that one because I have way too many questions. Either way, this asshole demands that his assistant dump a bunch of chemicals, more specifically formaldehyde, which I thought was just like a preservative or something that you put into a body. Anyway, they pour that down the drain because they've expired. Oh, no, sorry, because their bottles are dusty.
I hate dust more than anything.
This is a weird thing to do, and even the assistant is like, sir, no, like, these are horrible chemicals. We're not supposed to put these into the drains. They go out into the Han River, and this doctor guy is like, fuck them.
But then Dr. OCD Dickhead goes,
That's right. Let's just dump them in the Han River.
and after his assistant does what he's told and dumps like a bajillion bottles, I legitimately tried to count but lost count at 51, into the Han River via the sink for some reason. We cut to 2002 in the Han River with a couple of fishermen who noticed something weird in the water with them.
Hey, 이게 뭐야?
And guess what it is, Blake?
What is it?
It's a jump cut to 2006.
Oh, got me. I thought it was going to be something cool.
We don't even get to see. We do get to see, however, some guy getting ready to yeet himself off the bridge that's really not high enough to kill anybody, but not before he sees something in the river. And you'll never believe what he sees, Blake.
What does he see, Dave, in the river?
Another jump cut.
Oh, my God. This river is full of jump cuts. I can't even handle it.
And it's here that we meet our actual main character, Gang-do, I think is how it's pronounced.
Gang-do.
That's what I said. You know what? we sort of meet him because he's asleep at the counter of his dad's like Riverside shop store thing. Once awake, though, we do meet his daughter, too. Her name is Hyun-so, and she's disappointed because her father is clearly a loser. Though I'm not really sure I see the problem because he's asleep at work, has no shoes, saving up for a phone with coins. This guy's a real winner in my book.
Dude, Gongju looks like he smells a lot.
That is the most accurate thing that I think I've ever heard you say.
It is a great character introduction, though. I love how this movie just gives us perfect insight without having to tell us this guy's a horrible fuck up. Like, if I walked into a store here in the United States and this dude was asleep on the counter, I'd steal everything, first off,
right?
Because America. But second off, I know exactly who this guy was.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely a great way to introduce him. Speaking of introductions,
있네. 일로 봐.
after a crowd, including Gang-do, gather to look at some creature, and by that I mean throw trash at it, the creature emerges from the depths of the river, and it looks bad. Like, really bad. It basically is a giant fish with a big-ass mouth and sharp teeth and like 37 legs.
Bro, it's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja fish fuck. This thing is crazy. It even runs wonky. It's like bang, 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 bang. Like, I don't know. That's how the noise I played in my head when it runs.
Bang, 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 bang. So Gang-do and a conveniently placed blonde American throw a no trumpeting sign at the monster, which I didn't know was a thing.
What?
And yeah,
What's a no trumpeting sign?
It's literally a sign that has a trumpet on it with a no, like the the cross through
No
it.
jazz music here, Mr. Fish. Leave us alone.
And they throw this sign at the fish monster, which is super effective at pissing it off.
It doesn't mute him at all.
No. He's still trumpeting along. So then Gang-do does the next best thing. Runs for his goddamn life.
Good call, sir. Your instincts are kicking in.
And on the way, he grabs his daughter, Hyun-so, who is, she's suddenly outside of the shack that they're in.
Yeah.
And, oh, wait a minute. That's not his daughter.
Oh, my God.
How did he do that?
Dad of the year. Daddy, is that you?
And the look on her face matches the one that I was feeling. This little girl that's not his own, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking at him like, who the fuck are you?
This is a wild scene. His daughter, by the way, she's like 14. She's like a schoolgirl. Mm-hmm. And he looks pretty young himself, honestly.
Yeah, he looks like early 30s.
But he's dressed like a scumbag 18-year-old who totally sells cell phones out of his car trunk or something.
Turns out the fish monster grabbed Hyun-so, and he takes off with her downriver, which is probably not good.
Dude, this was pretty intense. I was watching this because it's kind of a goofy setup, right? And obviously the CG's bad. It's 2006 CG. But when the monster grabs Hanso and like takes off with her, I was like, well, she's dead. Like, bye. But it was freaky. Like you could see everybody watching and stuff. There was still like this fear that it brought out of me, honestly.
It was pretty freaky, but you never know, dude, because maybe Hyunso can secretly breathe underwater.
Here's to hoping.
Or secretly breathe from the monster's throat because it swallows her whole.
Oh, it's like what's that story? They know surviving in the belly of a shark.
Oh, Jonah and the whale?
Is that it?
I think I made that up. Well, I'm sure she's fine.
Probably.
Mouth swallowing or not. Don't tell that to Gangdu and his family, though, because they get into a brawl about how the hell he grabbed the wrong little girl, which is, it's a really good question.
They like have it all out. So all these like survivor people of this incident are at this, is it like a gym?
It's some gymnasium, yeah.
Okay, kind of mourning the people who were killed by the monster, right?
Right.
Well, the Park family hates each other.
Right. Yes, they do. And speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and introduce all these people real quick.
Yeah, do it.
We got Gangdu, of course.
Yep.
The brother, Nam Il. Bronze medalist, which is not gold, so I don't care. Archer / sister, Nam Ju. And Papa Haibong, which is amazing.
Which that's what I hope they call me.
Amazing name. Yeah,
when I'm
Papa
older.
Haibong. Yeah. I've already put that in the notes.
That's racist, probably. Sorry.
So the family is then forced to quarantine by Men in Yellow, which it didn't do as well because Will Smith wasn't in that one.
Oh.
You know what? We're going to get back to the quarantining thing in a minute because you know what time it is, Blake.
What time is it?
It's Korean exposition time.
Yeah, my favorite time.
또한 괴생물체 추적과 포획을 위해 한강변에 배치했던 모든 경찰과 군병력들 또한
Basically, we learned that this fish monster is also the host of a deadly virus, which means that the military has to, take special precautions.
Yeah.
Things like wear special equipment.
Nope.
And then the biggest precaution they take is giving up and going home.
That's my favorite precaution. I do it often, in fact. In most situations, that's exactly what I do, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a dangerous situation for you. That's just one that you take.
No, I walk outside, the sun's out, I'm like, nope, fuck this. Back on in, baby.
But we're in a hospital now, and Gangdu gets a phone call from Hyunso.
What?
Yeah, the daughter that got dragged underwater and swallowed whole? Yeah, she calls, and she says, hey, I'm alive, and I'm in a sewer thing. Can you come get me, maybe? So I guess I was right, though, because I guess she does have a secret ability to breathe underwater.
Well, so it's like, wait. Does this monster host a virus and a cell tower? Where is she calling from? I need answers, Dave.
It's made out of a cell tower.
Okay. It makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Yep.
Don't look it up.
그러니까 죽었는데 살아있는 거지.
계속해서 얘기가 뺑뺑 도네요.
Now, Gangdu tells the guard, which is, I guess, an actual policeman,
Yeah.
about the phone call that he just had with his dead but not dead daughter. And not only do they not snap into action to go looking for her, they think he's lost every last one of his marbles.
And Gongdu is kind of portrayed as like slow-witted, so nobody takes him seriously.
No.
And they just kind of okay, and they pat him on the head like, you stupid little weirdo.
Right.
So, of course, these guards are just like, this guy got hit in the head or something, whatever. He's crazy. He's dementia or something is what they say.
Regardless, though, Gangdu and his family have to escape from their quarantine to go save Hyunso because the police in Korea are just as useful as American cops.
Not at all. Action
Yay!
time.
거기 노란 발 있어!
So this whole scene was like pretty intense.
Yeah.
They escape from the nurses and doctors and I guess police officers there chasing after them.
Yeah.
They hop into this fucking van where they also happen to forget Namjoon, which is fucking hilarious. And after they escape, Haibong is extorted by the escape crew, which made me way more sad than it should have, I guess.
Oh, me too, actually. This family isn't like really well off or anything like that.
No.
So you can tell he's given over like some of the last currency he has.
Right, which was...
Ugh, yeah. Ow, thanks for making me feel things, Bong Joon-ho. Dick.
Asshole. So then the family is on their way to save Hyunso, and they're equipped with a disinfection truck, some guns, and some disinfection suits, aka my kind of party.
Yeah, waiting for my invite.
You just have to disinfect it when you get it.
No problem. I'm very clean.
Wonderful.
That's a lie.
대성방이야. 다른 팀.
아, 그래요? 나 구청 조과장인데.
They get caught by this guy who happens to be the district manager of the company they say they're from.
This is so tense, too.
It's so tense. He's got this, like, I know who you are look on his face. This causes Haibong to actually bribe the guy with all the money they have left, which is the coins that Gongdu was actually saving up to get his daughter a new phone with.
Yeah.
Which was also kind of like, no!
You know, I guess at least she found another waterproof phone.
Right. Regardless, though, it gets them into this, like, forbidden zone. Mm-hmm. And then you know what happens next, Blake.
Montage!
Montage! So basically, they're running around the sewers with flashlights, weapons, and the most important part of any search.
What?
Arguments.
Aha, my favorite part. Just kidding. Don't have people to argue with. Go on, Dave.
Don't mind if I do, Blake. Because now that we're in the most interesting part of this movie, it's time to switch gears, apparently.
To something more fun?
Sure.
What?
그거 그냥 놔둬.
We're actually now with two entirely different people. I would say they're strangers, but we did get a glimpse of them in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's two brothers, and they are thieving their way at night through these different shacks and stands because I guess they're going somewhere else. They're getting out of this town.
Yeah.
And you know who's there to stop them, Blake?
Oh, no, who?
The police.
Yeah.
Seeing Fish Monster.
Did he get deputized?
I think he's self-deputized.
I'm the sheriff here now.
Yeah.
So the oversized Billy Bass Christmas gift brings the two brothers to his hoarding sewer.
It does look like a Billy Bass.
He brings these two brothers in his mouth to his hoarding sewer to hang out with Hyun-soo and a bunch of the dead bodies that he just keeps dropping off for some reason.
Yeah, he's collecting
While
them.
he goes out to get more. I don't know. Is this how Pokemon feel?
It's a great question. I will be sure to ask them next time I do acid.
What?
Huh?
So after a really long speech about Gongdu that puts the rest of his kids to sleep, Haibong decides it's badass time and shoots the fish monster in the fucking mouth as it attacks their sleep shed. Or is it a snack shed? I don't know. They do both in there.
I was confused on actually what this thing is. It's just like a random shed thing in the middle of like a park by the river that has a bunch of snacks in it. My kind of shed, to be clear. But I just don't know what it's for.
I'm assuming that it's some sort of storage unit for people who do business nearby.
Okay.
I made that up entirely, so...
I would believe it, man. I don't know shit.
So they chase the fish monster back to the river while wasting every bullet that they fucking have.
Yeah.
And Haibong continues his badassery, right? He's got one bullet left and waits until the fish monster thing comes to him from the water. He points the shotgun and... Oh, sorry. He has none bullets left. My bad.
Oh, this is so tropey, but I was still was like, oh, man.
We could have ended it right here, guys.
One bullet more would have taken down this 5-ton fish monster that walks on its legs.
For some reason.
It's like one of those dancing dog memes, you know?
Yeah. You know what? The fish monster retaliates, and he bam-bams some of the Flintstones Haibong onto the concrete and kills him.
I'm not laughing at the death, to be clear. I thought he was throwing him into the river, but like they cut to the thing where his just face is smashed on the concrete. I'm like, a few feet short of the river.
Yeah, Billy Bass, definitely, he was taking things personally.
Can you call him Billy Bass for the rest of the episode, please?
Noted, I will.
미국이 최근 개발한 첨단 화학약품이자
Once the military catches Gongdu while he mourns having caused two family members to die by the hand, flipper, I don't know, appendage of demented Billy Bass, we get another like a minute and a half of Korean exposition.
Of course.
Where we find out that basically the U.S. is bringing in their newly developed chemical dispersion tech or whatever the fuck to combat this supposed virus. I think.
What is it?
It's called Agent Yellow, and they just drop chemicals.
Not even like spray. It's like just like drop it. Just drop a bunch of fumes.
It's what I imagine a fart looks like.
If you color coded a fart.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But now that we've gotten that out of the way, it's back to the action, I guess.
Finally.
Namihil has gotten the help of a friend to track the location of Hyunso's cell phone.
Yeah.
And by help, I mean trick to capture him and get the reward money.
This guy sucks.
But not so fast, Blake, because Nam-il took notes during Hai Bong's badassery, and he gets away and lets Namju know where Hyunso is. But then it's nap time because the poor guy's all tuckered out.
I can't say I blame him. I do like this escape sequence too because he uses like a paper clip and stuff and like blows the fuses and like escapes and locks them all in. It was really cool. I really enjoyed this and the action.
Yeah, so far every action scene has been fun and action-packed.
It's true. And whimsical. Not really.
But you know who it's not nap time for, Blake?
Who?
Is Namju, the sister.
Yeah, she's got some stuff going on.
She snaps into action and makes her way to the bridge where Billy Bass's horde sewer is.
Yeah.
And as she's letting Gongdu know that, hey, I'm on my way to save Hyunso, Billy Bass decides, no, bitch, it is nap time. And he knocks her out with a headbutt, a fish headbutt.
He does. He straight up headbutts her, just bonk, go to sleep.
And then she falls into like this little like nook where he can't reach.
Yeah, that was convenient. Stupid. Billy Bass isn't smart, but you know, trial and error.
Oh God, what's going on here?
So while Namju catches up on some Z's, Gongdu is being tortured at some hospital place. I don't know. When another convenient American guy comes in, he decides that Gongdu has dementia thanks to the virus, but also there is no virus?
Yeah. I was like, what? It's a conspiracy.
So that means they let him go, right? No, they drill into his fucking brain.
Yeah, I thought he was going to die, you know, because the drill to the
brain.
Face.
Yes.
But no, he survives the frontal lobe probing and and just he gets out of there. He's still got a brain. He uses it.
I'm not sure how. He just all of a sudden snaps into action.
Maybe it fixed his brain.
I get there later.
Okay.
오, 매점? 나 거기서 살래.
We can't think about Gongdu's badassery just yet because we're back with a little boy whose name is Suju, who survived the fish monster's mouth just like she did, which is weird. I guess only kids can survive it.
That's a great question. The only people who survived this whole thing are two children.
Yes, which is very strange. Maybe it's because their lungs are too small and they can't breathe in the chemical. I don't know.
Their bones are rubber still. I think that's how kids are.
Either way, though, they've come up with a way out. They tie together all of the jackets from the pile of corpses, you know, in the fucking sewer.
Oh, I'm well aware.
And they create a rope thing to escape with. But not before Billy Bass shows back up and vomits a bunch of human bones into the fucking sewer, which is super confusing because who is it eating if it's not eating the horde bodies?
It just starts like regurgitating like the bones of these It's so gross looking, dude. It's so gooey.
Probably the worst one of the whole movie.
Oh, I agree.
We can't think about the gross fucking regurgitations quite yet because we're back with Gongdu, you know, post-brain drilling.
Yeah.
And he's suddenly a badass who escapes from this torture lab by way of taking a hostage with his own blood that has the virus, doesn't have the virus. I don't know, man. They keep going back and forth.
This is why I think the brain surgery helped Gongdu because he found out there's no actual virus, but he takes his own blood and everybody else is convinced there's a virus. So he's like, I'm going to squirt this at you and give you a horrible disease if you don't let me go. And everybody's scared of him, and he's yelling. This is a great sequence.
Yeah, I agree. But speaking of back and forth, like I said earlier, we're back with Hyunso and Suju, and Hyunso is making her daring escape, right? She's using the sleeping fish monster, which is a weird sentence, as a springboard for her rope, and she fucking makes it, dude. Sorta. Because demented Billy Bass's tail just gently grabs her and sets her down nice and easy. Like, no, you stay here.
Dude.
But then, Billy Bass wakes up violently and it snatches her and Suju up. Fear not, though, Blake, because suddenly badass Gongdu is here.
Yes.
Billy Bass and the kids it ate are not, however.
Ooh, yeah.
Then he has to chase Billy Bass as it heads towards a crowd of people who are protesting the release of Agent Yellow or something. I'm not sure. They're protesting something.
Well, Gongdu's kind of become a martyr because he's been on TV and stuff this whole time since he and the family escaped. So they have signs with his face, like free him and all these things. And here he is. He just shows up, the man of the hour.
Yeah, also with a guest.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't travel alone, Dave. Rolls deep.
Please keep rocking until you cannot hear this announcement.
Gongdu and his posse arrive.
Yeah.
Billy Bass makes land at the same time as the Agent Yellow bomb thing is being released.
Yeah.
And it kind of knocks him out, you know, the same way rum did to a child in the 50s.
It looks like it's just like go to sleep fumes.
But you know who it doesn't affect, though, is fucking Gongdu, because he goes over to Billy Bass's open, fleshy, teethy mouth.
Yeah.
And is able to pull his daughter and Suju from the open mouth and, like, kind of sort of the throat area of Billy Bass. And no wonder this thing's pissed off. It's got humans stuck in its throat.
But I'd like to point out here, too, that people that stuck around to protest that took a bunch of that Agent Yellow right to the dome are like bleeding from their eyes and ears and stuff. And Gongdu took a face full of this shit and he's like, nah, I'm good.
It's because it has a virus. Doesn't it have a virus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
care.
They never really clarified.
It's exciting, so I didn't really care.
Well, now you've gone and done it, Billy Bass, because Gongdu is a fucking badass now because they drilled the stupid from his brain, and now he's going to take care of you.
Oh, no. Thanks, forced brain surgery.
Well, or so we thought, because actually he just gets knocked down, like, immediately.
That's true. Happens to the best of us.
And now it's up to Nam-il and his random homeless friend that he made along the way.
Yes, I love this segment because the uncle and the aunt, Nam-il and Namju, they come back to help fight the fish monster. They're back, baby. And so Nam-il, met a random homeless guy who hit him over the head with a soju bottle. But we see him showing up to the scene making Molotov cocktails.
It's absolutely amazing. And speaking of those Molotov cocktails, he starts tossing that Billy Bass while his homeless friend pours gasoline on Billy Bass from above.
I love
it. Billy Bass is like, oh, thanks so much. I was so parched. He just starts chugging the gasoline. It's like pouring all over his face and body. He's like, oh, yeah, I need this.
Just guzzling it, dude.
And then Nam-il takes this opportunity to drop his last Molotov cocktail instead of throwing it.
Oh, he throws this thing like me in Little League, dude. Anytime I got the baseball, just biffs it.
It's not over yet, though, Blake, because Namju comes to the fucking rescue.
Yeah.
And she stabs a piece of flaming marshmallow, apparently, with her arrow and shoots the fucking Billy Bass in the eye, lighting the entire bitch on fire. And it takes off running towards the water when out pops badass Gongdu with a sharpened, somehow, metal pole. He stabs that motherfucker in the mouth and kills it before he makes his way over to his daughter. No, sorry, to Suju.
And honestly, too, on top of this, I was getting used to the wonky VFX. When this thing catches on fire,
oh, it's bad.
It looks like 2008 YouTube video bad. Like really, really, really bad.
Really bad.
연습.
So like I said, Gongdu makes his way over to Suju, who is just unconscious, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, basically like, hey, were you with my daughter? Obviously you're with my daughter, like, wake up.
Yeah.
And then finally, Suju slowly opens his eyes to Gongdu looking down at him, right? And Gongdu picks this little boy up and decides right then and there, yep, this one will make a nice replacement for my dead daughter. Oh, I forgot to mention his daughter's dead.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ow.
He just fucking steals the child. We're going to go ahead and fast forward to wintertime, where Gongdu and Suju are living in the same riverside stand shack thing from the beginning of the movie, you know, the Hai Bong's original one.
Yeah.
And they're eating dinner together, right? And right as they start to eat, in the background, there's like news on.
Yeah.
That's going to explain what happened. But Gongdu and Suju, they don't want to hear it. And they turn off the TV and eat in peace.
Misinformation. 잘못된 정보에 의한 것으로 밝혀졌습니다. 하지만
I didn't want to know what happened anyway.
I actually really like that. They're like, we've been through so much stuff. We don't really care. We're just going to focus on the here and the now and the family and not worry about outside stuff.
and then we roll credits.
This was quite a ride. I really, really like this film.
Yeah, there was a lot of things in this movie that made me think for, like, in the moment that it was satire.
Yeah.
But then, like, the very next scene, I'm like, oh, no, it's not satire.
No, you're absolutely right. I can see why you thought that, too. This movie rides that tonal line, of, like, funny, quirky, goofy things. Haibong is also talking about how well he knows Gongdu because they spend so much time together. He knows how he's doing based on his farts and stuff. And then, like, it's that scene, and then the scene after, Haibong gets killed. But it doesn't feel like tonal whiplash in a way that, I don't know, it just works. It flows well. And I think Korean films, as you've noticed with some of the other films we've done, can pull this off. And, like, we're along for the ride.
I really do think that they handle it very well because, like you said, it's just, like, goofy scenes followed by people fucking dying. It was a weird change of pace, but one that I appreciated.
I do want to watch this movie again, though. I feel like I would get even more out of it the second time.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it again, at least with somebody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
But I will say, it really took everything in my being not to touch on the fact that the Han River is fucking massive. Therefore, 250 whatever bottles of formaldehyde is not going to make a fucking difference. It's going to dissipate and go away. It's not going to make some giant mutant Billy Bass that's going to fucking wreak havoc, hoard humans, and then fucking just like bam a human onto concrete.
I had the same thought, but I never really thought about it again because the film is such a journey, and that's not really the point, but it's a bad explanation.
I really think for me, the reason why I didn't focus on it is because as soon as I saw how bad the fish design looked, I was like, what the fuck? I stopped thinking about anything else.
That's a fair point. They found something on the internet and they're like, it's fine. It's good enough. Whatever. We're out of budget.
Yeah, and they had that luxury. But you know who didn't have that luxury?
Who?
The fucking creators of Tremors.
Oh, they definitely didn't. Boy, I'm very excited to talk about this movie.
Me too. Let's just do it.
Movie 2, Tremors, 1990.
All right, Blake, we just spent a lot of time in the water.
We did.
Let's spend a lot more time in the dirt. I don't know. Give me the synopsis for Tremors.
In the dusty little town of Perfection, 2 grade school dropouts must join forces with a seismologist and the rest of the town to escape a group of carnivorous sandworms that threaten to eat them all and drink their Pepsi.
We open to our rootin' tootin' main characters, Val and Earl, played by Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, respectively.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're handymen, but we don't really get to see what they're handy at other than pissing each other off.
Well, we do get to see one thing that they're handy at. Handling their dicks off the side of a cliff.
Hey! I see that. Nice one.
Thank you.
Dumb shit.
Anyway, they've had enough of their exciting life of beans and bologna breakfasts in Perfection, so they're going to pick up and move way out to the next town over, Bixby.
They're really going out of their way here.
Stretching their legs here. They are. But I got to say, too, like the little town of Perfection looks like a caricature Old West town.
Oh, my God, it does. Yeah.
Like if you plop this thing down in Disneyland, it'd blend right in.
I was going to say, it definitely feels like a theme park town.
I mean, if we were real serious about money, we'd quit being hired hands. Handyman, Earl. Yeah, we should quit this job and find ourselves some real employment.
But before that can happen, Dave, Val sees a lady out in the desert and decides to have a look-see and decide how much effort he wants to put into seducing her. Spoiler alert, none.
Yeah, because she's a nerd.
Stupid nerd in the desert.
And Val doesn't like nerds.
I'm Rhonda. I'm up here for the semester.
Yeah, geography.
Geology.
Actually, seismology.
Rhonda is a seismologist who are scientists who determine the size of things. It's right there in the name.
Oh, wait. That's not...
Am I thinking of radiology?
No. What?
Which one gets you drunk? Anyway, our resident mixologist, Rhonda, is studying earthquakes, and that sounds boring, so Val and Earl take off. They're done with this. They pack their truck full of stuff that looks like they robbed a Goodwill, and they head out of town to start their new life in Bixby.
Yes, the new, much different life.
They're going to live in their truck, aren't they?
They're going to live in their truck.
Now there's nothing, and I mean nothing, between us and Bixby but nothing.
Except there is, Dave. That thing is a dead body in an electrical tower.
Yes, that was fucking Gross.
Was it a heart attack, Doctor?
No. Died of dehydration. Thirst.
I guess I get thirsty too if I was hanging out in an electrical tower in the desert. But either way, I blame Rhonda. Be a better mixologist.
Wait.
I am drunk right now. Anyway, the town doctor tells how this guy died, but he can't answer the question of why this guy was up in the tower for multiple days. It's a mystery.
The only question I have is, who the fuck is this guy?
He's just a local drunk, is what they say.
Oh, so you?
Shut up, Dave. Put me in so many boxes.
You did that yourself with the mixology joke.
I deserve to be here. But speaking of Rhonda, she's getting some readings on her scienceometer thing, and something is shaking the ground. Spooky things are afoot, Dave. And on top of that, Earl and Val, they keep finding dead people, man. The population of this town has been practically cut in half over the span of 2 days.
Isn't it kind of convenient that these two keep finding dead bodies?
Better get the hell out of here. There's a killer on the loose. He's cutting people's heads off.
You mean you're cutting people's heads off?
It's Val and Earl.
Damn it, Earl.
But shit is going down. So Val and Earl, they decide to go to Bixby to get the police since apparently the one phone in town isn't working. There's only one phone.
Oh, and you know what? I gotta say though, they do handle this in a really good way because the best way to get people to listen to you is to just scream at them in a panic and then take off.
No, it works too. It definitely works. And they take off, but there's one thing, Dave. The road is blocked, and there's one road out of town. What are we gonna do?
Oh no!
You're on it now. 2 hours.
Oh my God. Oh, Bert, be careful.
So Val and Earl show back up at the general store in their truck where the rest of the 8 people who live in town are hanging out, and a little girl notices something on their truck axle. I don't know what it is, but it kind of looks like a snake that someone played Stretch Armstrong with. It's been like ripped apart, and whatever it is, it's not very malleable, but it's also gross.
I'm also not going to let you just blow past the fact that that's the Jurassic Park girl.
It is the Jurassic Park girl. I do not know her name, but yes, that's exactly who this is. I do have to say, though, this, like I said, is gross, and I was eating Indian food when I was watching this. It's still in my fridge, Dave.
Oh, no, because you had to stop eating it?
It's waiting for me to get over the movie Tremors.
Well, looks like you're never going to eat it again.
Now, night falls in perfection, and the town doctor is hanging out with his wife. They're playing in their new house when the monster strikes. It sucks him into the ground, thanks for the nightmares, before sucking their entire car into the ground with the wife inside of it. And I'm not trying to be a dick, I promise, but when your car's getting sucked underground, why not run, or at least try to run? And then if you survive, collect the sweet insurance money. I'm pro-fraud. I'm just saying.
Listen.
Defraud the insurance company.
I am with you, not on the frauding the insurance company part, but the get the fuck out of the car part. What are you doing? Were you just sitting there like, oh, I guess I'm going to die now. Get out.
Yeah, dude. I do like this shot, though, because we cut to like over the ridge and we see the headlights of the car just go straight up and then go dim. And I was like, that's a fun, creative shot.
That was pretty dope.
But also, she should have run.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway, with this attack, we do get to see a little more of the monster. It's not like a giant snake. It has multiple snake-like heads. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm more traumatized by it watching it now as an adult than I was as a kid.
That makes absolute sense to me.
I have not, nor will I ever, fuck with snakes.
I don't fuck with snakes.
This is going to be a long recap.
Mindy, look up. Smile.
Come on.
Hold it.
But despite all like the recent deaths and the whole town being trapped, capitalism takes over, and they all start thinking of ways to make money off of this monster thing.
It's true.
That is, except one guy, a man named Bert. Him and his wife Heather, played by Reba McEntire, they start thinking of ways to defend themselves. And I gotta say, this goes against a lot of things I know in life, but in this specific case, you should definitely trust the gun nut. Guns are now your best friend.
Yes. Also, I saw that Reba was in the cast list, and I still just recognized her.
No, really? But anyway, Bert and Heather are here. They're gonna save us, and Ted Nugent, eat your heart out, dude.
We arm ourselves. We set perimeters.
Biggs. We stand guard. Any of those snake things show up here, we make them extinct.
You make it sound like a war.
So despite everyone being trapped in town, they do have horses. So we will now enact plan 1 of an incoming 500 plans. So prepare for that. But Val and Earl, they're going to ride to Bixby to get help. Maybe stop for tacos. Who knows? The day is early.
I would.
But they don't get too far when the horses get spooked. And then this happens.
Must be a million of them.
The monster comes up from the ground, and now we really get to see this thing. Ugh. It's like a Beetlejuice sandworm with like a bunch of bitey snakes for a tongue. This thing is so gnarly, and I think the effect looks good.
It does. Well, because it's practical.
It's all practical effects.
Yes.
And we even get that cool like underground shot of the worm slithering its way through the dirt. I love that. I love that shit.
Right. I just have one question at this point. Why wasn't the first plan having Mr. Miyagi teach everyone karate?
We're going to get to Mr. Miyagi very soon. But for now, this thing chases Earl and Val, who run as fast as their little legs can take them, and they leap into a concrete aqueduct thing, and the monster smashes its big, stupid head into the side of it.
Stupid son of a bitch. Knocked itself cold. Cold my ass.
We killed it. Fuck you!
Hang on, Val. You didn't kill anything. This big dumb idiot killed itself.
Death by aqueduct. So Rhonda shows up. Remember the geomixologist lady? She asks if they noticed anything weird going on, and I'm sitting here wondering if Rhonda is deaf, dumb, blind, or a combo of the three, because a giant fucking worm reared its head out of the ground to give a little how-do to them, and there's no way in hell she should have missed it. She just strolls up to the aqueduct and, hey boys, what you doing? And I'm like, where the fuck were you 8 seconds ago?
Right. What the fuck are you been doing?
But in all the excitement of looking at the giant death worm, Rhonda has a pretty serious realization here. The worm they just killed wasn't the only one. There's 3 more.
What?
3 more?
I've got seismographs all over this valley. Here's one at 2 o'clock yesterday. But here's one 3 miles away at the exact same time. Now that's 2.
I don't know if you can recork champagne, Dave, but we need to, because shit just got serious again, and we're moving into the second act.
This way, up on that rock.
Now another worm starts chasing the 3 of them, so in a very real game of the floor is lava, they hop onto some huge rocks to stay off the desert floor. But I do have a question for you.
Sure, I can answer that.
Because I actually really wanted to know why this thing wants humans specifically. Aren't there like plenty of coyotes or more to munch on, like gobble up a whole family of prairie dogs or something? I'm personally in terrible shape and not very nutritious.
It's the size. Humans are bigger than all those other animals.
That's dumb. I do have to give some props to the worms, though, because these are the only things that would ever call me a snack and actually mean it, not ironically. Anyway, Val, Earl, and Rhonda, they sleep on the rock formation until they find the most convenient wood poles just sitting on the side of this random rock formation.
You guys know how to pole vault!
So, secret Olympian Rhonda pole vaults her ass to another rock, and the guys join in. They make it to Rhonda's truck, finally, and take off back to town.
Yes. Which happens in my favorite kind of montage, a pole vaulting montage.
A makeshift pole vaulting montage in the desert.
Right.
But now that we're back in town, everybody has to devise another plan. Meanwhile, Walter, the shopkeeper, Mr. Miyagi, played by Victor Wong, he comes up with a much-needed name for the monster.
Which is what?
It's dumb.
That's what I like. Graboid. That's it, graboid.
I like your enthusiasm, Walter. I do. But let's keep this one on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
There's more important stuff going on. The graboids are here, damn it.
Oh, no!
Get inside! Get inside!
This thing is out for revenge after its stupid-ass brother ran himself to death with the concrete aqueduct situation, right? But this thing also hates being called a graboid because it breaks through the floor of the market and just starts lapping up Walter, like his whole body.
You know, honestly, that's what he gets for coming up with graboids.
Also, spoiler alert, I call them graboids for the rest of this recap. So everyone's freaking out, obviously, and they scatter to their respective roofs because it's not just the ground that's lava, it's everything now. Everything is lava, and we're all gonna die.
This is the most intense game of the floor is lava I've ever seen.
It's insane. But also, have you had a Pepsi lately, Dave? Because there's so much product placement in this movie.
No, I had a Mountain Dew actually earlier.
Oh, Pepsi products. See, there you go. And I got to say, this product placement worked on me. I grew up watching this movie, and every time I'm hot and see disgusting bugs or reptiles, boom, Pepsi.
You are so susceptible to things.
Yeah, the drink of the prehistoric generation. Anyway, you remember the gun nut, Bert Nugent, and his wife, Reba McInugent?
Yes.
Well, they're like gun hoarders, right?
Yes.
So they've been in their basement compound, and things aren't going so great for them or the foundation of their house.
Apparently, these ones are stronger than his brother because they were able to burst through the concrete, whereas their brother just fucking died.
Exactly. But don't worry, though. Through the power of Jesus Christ and the Second Amendment, they kill this thing.
We killed it! You got that? We killed that mother humper!
Whoa, harsh
Hang on.
language there,
Wow.
Bert. I'm gonna need you to fucking cool it down.
This is a family show. God damn it.
But the town now has some hope, except that goes away pretty quickly because by my count, we still have 2 more graboids, and they will not go quietly into that good night.
Unfortunately.
Luckily, though, Dave, our rootin' tootin' graboid kabootin' heroes, Val and Earl, they come up with a plan to get everyone to the mountains where the monsters can't get them.
Wait a minute. The cat.
We could, drag something, though.
Hell, that old semi-trailer.
Its tires are flat.
Doesn't matter. That cat can pull anything.
Well, all right.
Thank God the town of Perfection is a literal junkyard because this sounds like a great plan. Like everyone jumps into this rusty trailer while Val drives the bulldozer, and they are off to the mountains, I guess. They even pick up Bert and his wife, who also make just a few quick pipe bombs.
Right, just a few. I do have one question here, though.
Yeah.
So the graboids can shift literal buildings, but they can't do anything to this tractor?
Well, the tractor's very heavy.
Heavier than buildings?
Well, it's more consolidated weight as opposed to non-foundational wood placed on top of dirt.
Sure, I'll let you have it.
Damn it! What the hell are they doing?
Well, the bulldozer, it treks on, but there is a problem, Dave, in the form of a booby trap.
Love booby. Booby traps. I love booby traps.
Boobies? Where?
Wait, look out!
The graboids are getting smarter, Dave. They dug out an underground trench in front of the bulldozer, and it just sinks. So we're on to plan 30 something, I guess. but it's a fun plan because we have pipe bombs now.
Yay, pipe bomb!
Hey, Bert, do you have any more of those bombs?
We got you covered, Rhonda.
What if we throw one that way, the way that we want to go? Then when it explodes, we run like goddamn bastards.
So Rhonda's science-based plan is to run. And run as fast as you can. I'm in. That's what I'm talking about.
That's very scientific.
It worked! There they go!
All right, let's go!
So everyone runs for a rock formation nearby, and they're safe. But also they didn't bring sunscreen, so between starvation, the circling graboid, and skin cancer, these guys are fucked.
They're super fucked. Except for, they have bombs.
It's true, Dave. This is the West. We got rope, we got explosives, and we got denim, baby. A recipe for murder.
Now, that's not a bad idea. No, it gives me an idea. Going fishing like.
These cowboys are going to tie a rope to a pipe bomb, throw it out, let a graboid eat it, and then boom, graboid sushi. So
I don't know if I want to try that.
I definitely don't like fish. Wormfish.
Wormfish.
I think I'm a vegetarian now. So they throw the bomb.
Take the bait. Yeah, all right.
Hell yeah, dude. Woo-hoo! It blows this thing up and we see the guts of it. And, boys, I said it a lot, but it's really gross. Yeah. It's so gross. I'm talking Pizza Hut gross.
Wait.
This episode is sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Okay, when to go?
That's right, Rhonda. One graboid left. But as we both know, Dave, these things bring the average IQ of perfection way up, so it can't be tricked with those pipe bomb shenanigans again. They have one bomb left, so Val and Earl decide to take matters into their own hands.
This bastard ain't smarter than us. For Christ's sake, Val. I'm gonna go for it.
Val, Earl, and Rhonda, they take off, run into the cliffs, and the graboid gives chase. Val throws the bomb, but it's too far. I think he got lessons from Namil and the host. What a fucking terrible throw.
Both of whom went to the Blake School of Throwing Things.
You're welcome. They both passed with flying colors. But as the graboid is like speeding towards Val, he jumps out of the way on the edge of the cliff, and then
you sucker! Can you fly?
The graboid bursts out of the cliffside and falls to its death on the jagged rocks below, where it explodes like a pumpkin on the rocks.
Oh, I love it. That was such a brilliant thing for these non-brilliant people to do.
Dude. Everyone is safe and gets their happy ending, except all the dead people. And Val and Earl, they're finally moving to Bixby. Meanwhile, Rhonda, she's getting in on all the research that's going to take place on the graboid. She's right there on the precipice of science and mixology.
Yes.
She's making so many good vodka martinis.
Wait, what?
I'm so drunk right now. But there is one last thing, Dave.
What is it?
Rhonda,
Yeah?
I just wanted to.
Val kisses Rhonda, starting a relationship that will certainly end in disappointment.
Oh, for sure, because she is a nerd.
It's true. Nerds. Roll them credits. Holy crap, dude. Tremors.
Oh, my God, dude.
What a movie.
We really dug our way through that one.
Oh.
See what I did there? I did a thing. It's like my thing. I did a thing.
You went to Blake's school telling shitty jokes. You graduated as a valedictorian.
I sure did. Yeah. Basically the new owner.
But can you see why I like this movie so much?
No,
growing up?
I 100% can see that. I really liked it as an adult. I thought it was great. I would watch this movie again.
Dude, same. I will watch this movie again. Absolutely. Both of these movies. It's got everything. It's got laughs, monsters, clever tricks, Pepsi.
Most importantly, Pepsi.
Everything you could ever want, Dave.
Pepsi and nerds. That's what I got out of this. And the fact that Blake doesn't know what seismology is.
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
We are back in the Thunderdome once again, Dave, and I'm pretty sure we're both on some government watch lists.
Yes. Wait, what?
So, before we watch these movies, you and I decide on 5 things that we both agree make a good genre movie. In this case, monster movies. So let's go through them.
Let's do it.
Number 1, we need a terrifying monster design.
What the fuck is that thing?
Number 2, we need ill-prepared main characters.
Did they miss the monster prep training?
Number 3, we need an action-packed plot.
Get my blood pumping or get out!
Number 4, we need monsters as metaphor.
What is this really about now?
And number 5, we need an epic conclusion.
Holy shit, I am spent.
So getting into terrifying monster design. I think my recap did a relatively accurate job at showing how terrifying and gross the graboids are in Tremors, right? They're giant sandworms with multiple snakes for a tongue. They bleed orange, they look sticky, and they can maneuver through the dirt faster than whatever vehicles the people in perfection can afford. On top of that, they're smart, dude. They sense vibrations to track their prey, and they learn, you know, once their friends get blown up or shot in the fucking face. But I have to say, these monsters are wild, and they're really inventive and fun. And I don't know, I think Tremors kind of takes the cake here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to not disagree with you because the monster in The Host is so terrifyingly awful. I can't get over it. This monster looked like it hopped out of a bass fisherman's nightmare. It literally looks like a fish with fucking dinosaur legs and just random ass arms all over its body. I wasn't so much terrified as much as I was confused and a little humored.
It's just a giant weird ass looking fish
it's so
with
weird.
Legs. I don't think it's the worst monster design I've ever seen. There's plenty of bad ones, but it's definitely not better than the graboids.
Definitely not better than the graboids. I just really don't think that they took enough time on this monster.
Not only did they not take enough time, they weren't ready for any of this. They weren't ready to create a monster for a movie like this.
No.
They got in way over their heads.
Oh, absolutely. But that actually gets us nicely into our next point, ill-prepared main characters. And let's be real, Namju is the only character in this movie that has any sort of useful skill, okay?
Yes.
Gong-do and Nam-il are both as useful as a sixth toe. Gong-do is a fucking narcoleptic drunk, and Nam-il is an unemployed college graduate, okay? Hai Bong is also just like a riverfront shop owner. No one has any chance in hell of defeating the fucking Billy Bass, and yet they do by working together.
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely ill-prepared. Like, of all people I would choose to fight, not any of those people.
Right.
But also, to be honest with you, same with Val and Earl from Tremors. And I wouldn't call them the least prepared main characters, but they are stupid.
They are very stupid, yes.
There's that going against them. They're just run-of-the-mill handymen who play the hand that nature dealt them, but they were literally on their way out of town. So there's no way they were ready for what was coming. The only person actually ready for this was Bert Nugent. And that guy was also prepared for a government-assisted prairie dog takeover or whatever the fuck this guy's worried about. But broken clocks and all, right?
He was definitely ready for fucking World War III. It turns out he just got Ground War One.
It's true, but speaking of war, I think we can move on to talk about our action-packed plot.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that kept me coming back to Tremors as a kid, it was the action-packed plot here. The whole town is getting eaten and running away from the graboids and using all the junk they have laying around. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what's going to happen or what they're going to use to help defeat the graboid or help them get to the next point of like getting out of town or to safety. You know, it's like one thing after another until the very end when the graboid like yeets himself through a cliff. So good stuff, man. I'm on board.
Yeah, I do have to say that Tremors had a really nicely action-packed plot. But the host, while goofy at times and somber at others, looking at you, Dad, who lost his own daughter to an oversized redneck wall decoration, is actually pretty fucking action-packed, okay? Whether it's Gongdu fighting his way out of a hospital twice, or it's Namju being a badass archer, or Nam-il basically being an anarchist with his Molotov cocktails, this movie really does get the blood pumping.
Oh, dude, I really love the plot and all the action and stuff in the host. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this movie, but it has everything in it, man. Even when there's like lulls and stuff, you're still learning things and there's a lot of emotional stuff, but as soon as the action kicks in like every scene, you're just drilled into it. I was floored by the action in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And the weird thing, too, is like you just never know when that stupid-ass looking fish is going to show up, either. It just appears in certain places. It's weird. It is like a ninja fish.
It is like a ninja fish, but also it's more than just a ninja fish, okay? This gets us into our next point, monster as metaphor. So, once again, this point in monster movies nearly avoided my brain at all costs. But then it dawned on me, okay? From what I gathered, this movie is basically saying about oversized Billy Bass that if we keep polluting our environment, it's only really going to affect our children and their generation. It feels very pointed, like a take care of our environment kind of message.
Yeah, no, I actually really agree with that. I think this movie, more so than Tremors, has a heavier messaging to it.
Yes.
Because to be perfectly clear, Tremors was not really intending to dive deep into the metaphors of the graboids.
No,
but
it wasn't.
But you could read it like the graboids represent that sneaky sense of comfort for Val and Earl. Their life in perfection is far from perfect, excuse the pun, but they know it well and they can coast by.
Yes.
But as soon as they try to leave for Bixby to work hard and like better themselves, boom, ground monster. It keeps them trapped in perfection just like comfort would, you know? So they have to explode, decapitate, and trick the metaphorical sense of comfort or they'll never grow as people.
And they can finally get the ending that they want.
Mostly, maybe not in the way they wanted it, but the results are still the same. We're talking about our epic conclusion.
Yes.
I love the conclusion of Tremors. It's so exciting. They set up early in the film that the graboids can't see, as evidenced by the first one ramming its stupid fucking head into the concrete aqueduct. But after so many other failed attempts, Val realizes he's going to let nature and gravity just do its thing. It's a brilliantly simple conclusion that is exciting despite its simplicity and stuff.
Yes.
And the whole town is saved, and no one has to die of cancer on a rock.
Which is your favorite part for sure.
Favorite.
I will agree that Tremors has a very good conclusion. Also, I think that the host has one that's super epic. I mean,
it is.
Hunso dying aside, but come on, they finally defeat this singing fish that was left out in the sun to melt too long, and they do it like badasses, okay? You got Molotov cocktails, archery, gasoline lighting this ugly motherfucker on fire, and finally, Gongdu avenging his dead daughter with a fucking pole to the dome of this monster. It's fantastic. Also, I'm just going to leave out the fact that Gongdu steals a child to replace his dead one.
I have to give the points for epic inclusion to the host. It is epic in the storytelling sense, but also in the visual sense. It's got it all, man. I love this ending. It's so fucking good.
This ending was super epic. I did really, really appreciate it.
I really like these two movies. And again, very different kinds of movies to be approached very differently, but I still really had a blast with both.
I was going to say, I bet you had a really good time with both. And I'm going to have a really good time watching you squirm to pick one. So
it is going to be tough because our epic conclusion is coming up next.
Are we having a commercial break?
Yep.
It's new stuffed crust pizza. You'll love this stuff. We're made of Pizza Hut.
I know I was talking shit, but like, can we get a stuffed crust?
Dude, stuffed crust sounds so good right now.
I know, dude.
Oh shit, we're still recording.
Hey, look, we did it. It's the finish line. We're at the finish line. Can I go home yet? Alright.
All right, Dave. We have done it. We've crossed the finish line, and I need to know, looking at the photo finish results, which film you think is the better monster movie, The Host or Tremors?
You know what? I'm going to tell you after you go.
You fucker.
Got him.
Well, let me put it this way. Okay. I grew up with Tremors.
Yes.
And it's such a fun movie. And Kevin Bacon's great. Fred Ward is great. Victor Wong is hilarious, even though he dies pretty early. Everybody in this movie is fun. Reba McEntire's fun, too. It's just a real good fun time that I think everybody can enjoy. It's fun for the whole family, dude.
Yeah.
But I do have to say The Host is a way better film. It is a real movie. It's a real movie that's really good with a lot of big themes and a lot of stuff. And I can't wait to watch it again.
Yes.
I loved it. I was absolutely floored by this movie. But I do have to say Tremors is the better monster movie.
Oh, that was a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, sorry. It's more focused as a genre movie, whereas The Host uses genre as a conduit mostly for other themes, which isn't a bad thing. I want to be very clear.
Right.
But Tremors is focused on the monster a lot, and it's just really fun, and I think it really encapsulates what a monster movie can be good at.
I can understand why you would say that. I would have to say, though, however, that The Host did a lot of things very well.
No, I agree. I love this movie.
This movie was very good. I mean, the family dynamic, the character arcs, how everybody kind of makes up for the things that they fucked up with. I mean, Nam Il is able to save the day while he started out as an unemployed college graduate, and Nam Ju is able to not choke with her archery skills instead of choking like she did earlier, and Gong Du gets a new kid because he killed the other one. Everybody gets their own arc. Okay. It was a journey. I laughed. I would say I cried, but I didn't because I didn't connect with anybody. But it was fantastic. I just could not get over the fucking monster design. It was so wonky and goofy. I fucking hated it. It was so bad. It took me out almost every time it got on the screen because I'm like, come on. Come on. So that being said, I do really like Tremors. I thought it was a great, whimsical, fun monster movie, and I do agree with you. It is much more focused in its monsterishness. So I'm going to have to agree. First prize film for me for monster movies, Tremors.
All right. It's unanimous. And like I said, I've said it 100 times, but I want to be very clear. Go see The Host.
Yes.
It's a very great film. It's streaming on a bunch of stuff. I just think, genre-wise, Tremors kind of nails it. You know, it's just fun. I think of fun, goofy stuff with it, and it's not that deep. You can enjoy it. It's kind of bite-sized. It's only an hour and a half long, but I think it hits a lot of those points pretty well.
Right, I agree. And I do think that The Host was a little too long for a monster movie, if I'm being honest.
I actually do agree with you on that. It's like 2 hours long, and I think it could have been trimmed down 10, 15-ish.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, notes for you, Academy Award winner Bong Joon-ho, from us. Nobody from nowhere.
Nobody from nowhere. We are very knowledgeable, so.
We have opinions.
Hey, First Prize listeners, thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks for developing irrational fears with us.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed hearing us shit our pants in real time, consider subscribing to our socials. It's at First Prize Pod on all platforms, and that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok and YouTube as well. Also, don't forget to check out our website. It's firstprizefilms.com.
Yep, we do this for free because we're sponsored by Pizza Hut, the origin of modern dysentery. But if you'd like to support us, consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or come hang out on Twitch. We're streaming every week, talking about movies, having some laughs, and chatting with all of you.
Yeah, it's a really good time. But join us next week for our season finale as we fear the endless expanse of space with these space epics.
That sounds depressing. But we're talking about Interstellar 2014 versus 2001, A Space Odyssey from 1968.
It's going to be such a good time. You won't be able to hear anything because
It's true.
Space doesn't have a sound.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the sound mix in Interstellar. It made my fucking ears bleed.
See ya!
Bye. Oh, good. That's actually really great.
It's so much faster.
That's what she said to me, that's for sure.
Oh.
Anyway, you in a good mood? Or